Caitlin Clark, she might just be the good luck charm that the Indiana Pacers need. The Pacers are 7-0 when Caitlin Clark is in the building.
The WNBA is chicken. They refuse to issue an apology to Fever fans. I haven't heard a word from Caitlin Clark ever since she bent the knee. I haven't heard a word from these three women. I'm owed an apology because I'm tired of being a Fever fan and having to explain it. I don't like it, and I'm tired of all of them. Boom!
Caitlin Clark, by the way, will not be in Oklahoma City, but she might just be the good luck charm that the Indiana Pacers need. The Pacers are 7-0 when Caitlin Clark is in the building. And, you know, hey, if they get one in Oklahoma City and we can get Caitlin to come out for games 3 and 4 in Indianapolis, maybe something will be cooking in the Hoosier state of Indiana. And who better to talk about it with than the chef of basketball in the Hoosier state? He is the pride of the state and one sweet bastard, the host of Don't At Me on OutKick every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Pleasure to welcome my brother Dan Dakich to the program. Dan, what's up, my man?
Oh, baby, what's up is we got the perfect weather for a road playoff NBA final game. It is overcast, which means it's raining, which means people will start drinking around 5, gather together as we watch first time in 25 years. Pacers in the NBA Finals, big boy. Fired up, very fired up.
Let me ask you, I think Caitlin Clark is going to be reevaluated in a few days on her injury. Are you hearing anything in Indy about what kind of timetable it's going to be for the Fever to get her back in the lineup?
The only thing I've been told is that they're going to be very cautious with this. And, you know, I'm getting a little tired of Caitlin Clark, tell you the truth. I'm getting a little tired of the Fever. I've had enough. I mean,
you can't say that. Dan,
I just did.
You can't say
here's
that.
My problem.
You're the ambassador of the Hoosier State.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Angel Reese and her band of idiots with the Chicago Sky, once again, third time they've done this, came out and said, Indiana Fever fans are racist, and it turned out again to be a lie. I haven't heard from Caitlin Clark. I haven't heard from the administrator. Got these three women, Mel Raines, Amber Cox, and a lady named Kaylee Kasparov, who are celebrated as leading the Fever. They're chicken shit. They refuse to stand up. The WNBA is chicken shit. They refuse to issue an apology to Fever fans. I haven't heard a word from Caitlin Clark ever since she bent the knee. I haven't heard a word from these three women that are running the Fever. I haven't heard a word from the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese, or the WNBA apologizing. I got good friends. I do. I got good friends that are one guy's like, hey, Dan, I was sitting right wherever it was supposed to have happened. Absolutely nothing happened. And I spent about 25, 35 grand a year on Fever stuff. I'm owed an apology because I'm tired of being a Fever fan and having to explain it. Until you stand up to a bully, in this case a dumbass bully, a ridiculous psychopath bully, an Angel Reese, till you stand up, it's going to continue to happen. And I believe the three women, Mel Raines, Kelly Kasparov, and Amber Cox, are chicken shit. And I believe the WNBA is chicken shit. And I believe Angel Reese is a psychopath. And I believe the Chicago Sky are enabling her to call Indiana fans racist. It sucks. I don't like it. And I'm tired of all of them. Boom!
Skip Bayless is calling the league out for what he says is the league basically, and you know, Dan was saying the same thing, saying that the league has ignored issues of racism as they pertain to Caitlin Clark. That Indiana Fever fans are alleged to do something, and it's a whole big thing. We got to issue a press statement about it and assure everyone that investigations are going to take place and due diligence will be done. Yet, with the Brittney Griner comments, yes, the Brittney Griner lip-reading scandal, nothing has happened, and Skip is not very pleased about it. Let's listen to the skipperoo.
But regardless of why Brittney Griner said what she said, or at whom she said it, I want to know, is the WNBA okay with one of its players saying white girl on the bench and getting caught by TV cameras saying such? I guess they are. I guess they're okay with it. Obviously, the league would very much not be okay with a white player saying black girl on the bench in anger and getting caught by TV cameras. That would be an immediate suspension, if not a career ender for said white girl.
All right, Ron, there you go. You heard the words of Skip Bayless. What do you think of that take?
You know, there's a lot of people out there, and I think I've shared this before. Tyler had a professor in college that said, can't be racist against white people. So there's people out there that actually think that. It's like, oh, that's just fair game. Just say whatever you want. I will tell you what, though, Ricky, we've barely talked about the WNBA since Caitlin got hurt. And anytime we do, it's just about controversies. It's about stupid shit that has nothing to do with playing basketball. You know, and there's this old saying that all pub is good pub. Well, it's not translating, dude. I just looked at, Dallas played Chicago Saturday night. So it's Saturday night. You don't have to go to work the next day. Paige against Angel Reese. 6,000 people in the stands, Ricky. Nobody cares about this league, and they don't get it. They should be promoting basketball, and instead they let all this other stuff happen, and it just makes you want to distance yourself even farther from like watching it and paying attention to it. It just gets old.
All right, I got a couple of opinions on Skip's take. One is, and he acknowledges, if you, in the longer version of that, if you want to go find Skip's content, and God bless you if you want to do that. We're trying to summarize the high point here, whatever, so you don't have to actually watch Skip Bayless. But Skip couches his comments by saying it's possible that she said something else. And I want to be real clear, because I said a lot of people jumping to conclusions saying that, you know, basically acting at least like they were 100% sure of what came out of Brittney Griner's mouth. And I came on this show and I said, I'm not a lip reader. I know it looked like that. I'm not sitting here saying that I didn't see it too, but the power of suggestion is strong. And so when you tell somebody what to look for, and you're subconsciously, it affects the way that you see things. And I've seen the bad lip reading videos on YouTube and around the net on social media enough to know that the most absurd things can look actually real. So I don't know what she said, but I will agree with Skip to the extent that probably, in my opinion, if that had been a white player and it had been reversed and the derogatory comment had been reversed, I think the league would have at least addressed it in some form or fashion.
I agree.
They would
with you.
have paid some kind of lip service to it, saying, we have conducted an internal investigation and that is not what the player said. Something would happen, I think. Now, and again, so I think these two things can be true at the same time. One, I don't know what Brittney Griner said. I'm not going to accuse her. I know what that looked like. Okay? I saw it just like you did. But, you know, if we're in a court of law, I can't prosecute her off of that. All right? You understand what I'm saying? And the court of public opinion, I realize, doesn't have the same standard of reasonable doubt. But when you're talking about accusing somebody of being racist, I think that you've got to have a reasonable doubt standard, because that is one of the worst allegations that you can tar somebody with. So I do agree, however, that to not say anything about it at all, not to even suggest that, hey, there's nothing to see here, it strikes me just a little bit funny when the league is willing to go to such lengths to investigate Indiana Fever fans based on what, as far as I know, were just allegations made on social media.
I totally agree with you, Ricky. They absolutely would have investigated it. And you're right. I think the message is we don't care, because it's just, this is actually more than the Angel Reese deal, because Angel Reese claims she heard something, right? Well, we have no proof of that. There's no way to do it. We actually have something like visual that we can at least say, oh, I'm not sure what she said here. We should probably investigate. And
the incident in question at least was captured on video.
Right. You could see it, and you could at least. I can look at that video.
There's not even footage of an Indiana Fever fan saying something that, people can't tell what they were saying. We didn't get anything out of that whole issue. So with this, there's at least some smoke here. And, if they're going to go to such pains to study one allegation, they probably ought to at least glance at another one. Otherwise, they're creating the impression that this is not a fair circumstance where every situation is going to be treated the same.
Right. If they were being fair, they would, at the very minimum, they would release a press release that said something along the lines of, we're not sure what Brittney Griner said, but let us say this. We do not condone racist statements against any race. They don't do that, right? They just
that's
ignore.
The same kind of, but they've done that so many different times, and that is the easiest way to get out of it too. It takes no effort for them to basically, in some sort of flowery. But
it's always one-sided. It's always one-sided. It's always one-sided.
Here's one for you, Ron. Did you see where Gibert Arenas had some interesting words about Karl-Anthony Towns? And let's go ahead and play it, and we'll react.
I told you. I mean, it's in plain. It's in watching it. Listen, can you just put Cat up there so we can just be educated after all on Cat himself? It's him. It's his physical makeup. Long legs, short torso, big ass feet. There's nothing he can do. He's built like a whole fucking bitch. He's built like a female. Clip that. No, fuck that. Am I saying something wrong? Look, he's built like a girl. He has girl hips. He's like a full WNBA player. Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure if he played in the WNBA, it would be a great.
He's like Angel Reese, except he can make his layups, Ron. Is what Gibert Arenas is telling us.
And talk about not leaving anything left to the imagination in terms of wondering where somebody stands on something. My goodness. We should get Arenas and Dakich together, just have a takeoff.
The Arenas Dakich hour. There's a
just trying to top each other. Just keep trying to top each other.
Well, hey, look. I mean, Dan had some strong words for Angel Reese, man.
Listen,
perhaps the strongest that I've ever heard anyone have to say about Angel Reese.
Oh yeah, I mean, because when I say she's a terrible basketball player, that's just she's a terrible basketball player. He's just a whole nother level, which I don't necessarily disagree with him. I don't know if she's a psychopath, but she's definitely an interesting person.
Different levels. So Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, if you're Karl-Anthony Towns, how do you react when you hear Gibert Arenas saying that you're basically a woman with girl hips?
I mean, I don't know if there's a beef between the two. I doubt it. I don't know. It's kind of mean. Kind of mean. You know what, Ricky? It's one thing to talk about my micro penis, but we're friends, and so that's okay. Again, there it is.
Available at fine booksellers nationwide.
But yeah,
a triumph of the human spirit.
Man, Ricky, I've just always I am such a big fan of funny, and I am such a big fan of clever. I am not a fan of mean. Like, it's just sometimes people are mean, and I don't like it. Like, call me soft, whatever. I like clever.
I agree with you. You may not have a big penis, but you've got a big heart.
I do.
You do. I'm telling you right now. You're crusty on the outside. I just don't
like mean. Like mean is lazy, man. I think mean is lazy. I just think it's mean. It's mean is lazy. I like clever.
I agree with you.
Witty. This is
Look,
mean.
Gilbert Arenas is the kind of guy, what was the handgun incident that he had?
There's a documentary on Netflix right now I just watched.
Over a
all
card
about
game.
That.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you're somebody that they make a movie about your card game handgun incident,
exactly.
I mean,
maybe
that
down.
guy's a loose cannon.
Maybe be a little quiet.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. Sign up for Ricky Cobb's Rewind, you sweet bastards. Just head over to outkick.com/newsletters. The CIF would be proud of the NCAA on this one because the College World Series is underway. The NCAA tournament that will lead to the College World Series is being played out. And Duke advanced to the Super Regionals recently with a victory over Oklahoma State, but unfortunately in the process lost one of their key players because the NCAA took issue with the celebration. Duke coach Chris Pollard was not very happy about this, and I'm going to go ahead and set this up for you guys. As you may know, one of the things that happens in modern baseball is teams have celebrations when a home run is hit. If you watch MLB at all, you have seen someone hit a home run back to the dugout where they put on a Trojan helmet or a Viking helmet or a ginormous chain around their neck or a sombrero or whatever the fuck that particular team does to boost morale and camaraderie, whether you think it's stupid or whether you think it's cool. It's just teams celebrating in the dugout something good that happened. Well, Duke apparently celebrates these things with a hard hat. So you go back to the dugout, you put on your hard hat. It represents doing work to the Duke baseball team, but things went sideways with this celebration, and I'll leave the floor to Duke coach Chris Pollard.
I'm incredibly disappointed in the rule and in the way the rule was interpreted and executed tonight. AJ Gracia, who's one of the best players in college baseball, hit a home run earlier in the inning to put us within one run. We have a celebration in our dugout where we give the construction helmet to the player that makes a big play. It's a symbol of our blue-collar culture, and it's something that we rally around, and it gets our guys excited and creates energy. AJ was wearing the helmet because he had just hit the home run. Later in the inning, Sam Harris hits a single. We score from first on a single to take the lead in the championship game of a regional to go to a super regional. Our guys are undoubtedly excited, and they should be. And they jump out of the dugout to high-five their teammates as they're running back over to the dugout. AJ still had the helmet on from where he had hit the home run and celebrated. He took 2 steps out of our dugout, not to show anybody up, not to be disrespectful of the game, not to disrespect Oklahoma State, to cheer on his teammate and give him high fives. This rule and this type of action by the umpire are why people get so frustrated with the NCAA. I'm disappointed for AJ Gracia that he won't play in one of the biggest games of his life when we start the Super Regional. I'm disappointed for Duke baseball, and I'm disappointed for college baseball.
All right, well, I said that this morning, the impossible has happened. I am actually sympathetic to Duke University. The first time in my life that I have ever been on Team Duke, but I'm going to be in this situation. The kid took a couple of steps out of the dugout wearing a construction hat, and now he's going to have to set out game 1 of a best-of-3 super regional that Duke is about to play against Murray State. Ron, can you imagine that the offense of stepping out of the dugout wearing a construction helmet is worthy of suspending a very good player at a time when obviously Duke most needs him?
Another day of secondhand fury. Holy shit, Ricky. Listen, rules should exist, especially subjective rules. They should exist so that if you need to enforce them, it's on the books and you can. These are not black and white rules. They don't say you can't celebrate. They say you can't have excessive celebration. So that means that it's how excessive is up to the person legislating this at the time. And nobody in their right mind with common sense would say that this kid did something that was egregious, that was offensive, that was taunting. Listen, man, if he did something that was taunting, he ran up to the other players and, I don't know, made the throat slash gesture or whatever it is. That's why that rule is in the book, so that you can sit this kid's ass down when he does something like that. These are just people who are in positions of authority, just swinging their big bat because they can, and somehow they get off on the power. It's so, dude, it's infuriating. I can't imagine if I was this kid or this kid's parents. Like, it literally makes me mad, Ricky. And Duke and blue collar, Duke and blue collar, those two things don't go together. Come on.
Yeah,
Who are we trying to kid? Who are we trying to kid? That's what I'm offended at.
Throw on an ascot or something after he hits a home run.
Exactly.
Can you imagine trying to explain this to Ty Cobb or Walter Johnson, though? It's just absurd. Look, I agree with you. And times change, times evolve. This is the thing that is popular now. But I'm trying to imagine a past era. It reminds me of when Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder in the second fight of their trilogy. And Deontay Wilder wore an elaborate costume when he came out, and he lost the fight by a technical knockout. And afterwards, his excuse is that his costume, when he entered, was too heavy,
and
made him tired him out and affected him in the bout. And I did a tweet at the time, and I won't attempt to think of the incredible way that I phrased it, I'm sure, Ron. But I said, imagine trying to tell Jack Dempsey about that. Jack Dempsey would be like, why was he wearing a costume? You know, I just came out in my shorts. Mike Tyson comes out with a towel with a hole cut in it for his head. The Colorado Rockies they sweep a series for the first time. This is so amazing. You know, most series, they're 3 or 4 games, but the vast majority of series in Major League Baseball are 3 games. You'll have a 2-game set once in a while. They swept a series for the first time in 57 series, taking every game from the Miami Marlins. Leave it to the Marlins to be bad enough to break the Rockies' historic streak. But there you go. They're 12-50 now. How about that, Marlins fans? As the OutKick tweet here says.
You
Can't
see
be feeling good about that if you're a fish fan.
The Rockies actually leaned into they tweeted yesterday, Rockies 3 wins, Scotty Scheffler 0 in June. So they recognized what was going on. So I appreciate that. Clever.
Look,
not mean.
They're
clever.
on their way to the worst record in Major League history. I mean, they've really got to turn the nose up, even after sweeping the Marlins. Let's see if they can get double-digit wins in June. That would be a good goal for them. They need 7 more to get to 10. Let's see if they can do it. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm very convinced. That
unless they're playing the White Sox and the Marlins, I don't think it's going to happen.
Are you done now with your Rockies wagering? Does this change?
No. I just
anything for you?
No, the Marlins are. I didn't bet on this. The Marlins just weren't. The Marlins are so bad that I didn't feel comfortable betting on them. But I will tell you the other thing: the Rockies haven't been getting blown out. Like, they've been losing up until this series, but they hadn't been getting blown out like they had been. So you can't extend the line.
We haven't had any more of those 21-0.
Gosh, I would even take a 7-0.
All right, Ron. Yeah, well, you had a good thing going there for a while. We'll see if you can continue with it with the rejuvenated Colorado Rockies. Ron is our OutKick Colorado Rockies correspondent. So
we're going to get you a new lower third, Ron.
Senior.
With Ron.
Senior. Yes. Right. We're going to build you a new lower for that one.
Absolutely. That's a fine idea. And Ron is also a man that I like to ask questions about other things, not just the Colorado Rockies, because he's versatile like that. And, well, now would be a good time, I suppose, for me to turn my head slightly and say, what the fuck, Ron?
Every once in a while when I'm looking for subject matter for this portion of the show, I actually do, Ricky, think to myself or sometimes say out loud, what the fuck? I was on, I think, Instagram yesterday, and a video popped up. This guy is going to be 76 years old in August. And I just thought to myself, what the fuck? Now, we're going to show a video. We cannot, unfortunately, use the sound. So I'm going to need you, when this video plays,
Oh, my God.
to sing Jessie's Girl. But, dude, take a look at Rick Springfield. He's about to be 76 years old. Look at this guy.
You, Ricky.
Jesse is a friend. Yeah, I know he's been a good friend of mine. But lately something's changed and it ain't hard to define. Jesse's got himself a girl and I want to make her mine. And she's watching him with those eyes. And she's loving him with that body. I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms late at night.
Big finish. Come on, you got it in you.
Can I get some drums?
Big finish.
I wish that I had Jesse's girl. I wish that I had Jesse's girl. Now. Where can I find a woman like that? I'll go along with the charade. Okay, I'm stopping now.
Good Lord.
Dude,
I had to go.
bravo.
You got to accompany it with guitar. You know?
Yeah.
You got to play the air guitar. Oh, my God. We've had a blackout in Chicago.
That was phenomenal.
God may not have wanted me to do that.
We can see you, but we can see you.
Lights off, dude. Mic drop moment.
Okay.
No, it's fan. They just took the lights down. They took the lights down after that.
Is this are the lighters coming out now? If the lighters are coming out, I'll sing "Don't Talk to Strangers" now.
There you go, Rick.
What for the love of God? What is happening right now? Oh my God! What is now? Look at this. I'm giving away
even better.
I'm giving away secrets now. I bet some of y'all thought that this background behind me was real, didn't you? Well,
good thing
you delete. Grab a figurine.
Good thing you delete your browsing history.
Could you reach up and grab a figurine?
Hey, look, Oscar Goldman's real though. I'll tell you that. He's tangible. So is J.R. Richard.
Hey, can we go back to the Can we go back to the main reason I included this? That dude is going to be 76, Ricky. Did you see his body?
Yeah.
And how he was.
Look.
Holy crap.
Look, oh my God. Look out. He doesn't have those childbirthing hips like some people, Ron.
Colin, this is mean. This isn't clever.
Long legs and
this isn't clever. It's not witty. It's just mean.
Oh my God.
It's genius. It's genius.
Basically, what happened in the last 3 minutes?
Eric, do I have the hands right?
I'm confused. I don't understand.
Let's see the hips, Ron.
There.
Let's see the hips, Ron. Let's see the
hips.
hips.
Don't lie.
Let's see the hips.
You look up.
Hips don't lie.
Look at that.
I'm like Shakira.
The Shakira
hips don't
of
lie.
the Eastern Conference. Ronnie t-shirts.
Back to Rick Springfield. 76, Ricky.
Good. Okay. Listen, my girlfriend has a picture with Rick Springfield.
That's the second time you've done that.
It's the second time I've done it, and I know who he is. I've been a fucking Rick Springfield, fan of some of his shit for over 40 years. But she has a picture with him, and he's got his hand over her shoulder, and it's one of those where the hand's kind of coming over like that.
Touching
It looks like he's grabbing one of her boobs. Yeah.
I like it.
Or maybe she just told me it was an illusion. Maybe he really did have a handful, and she was like, Ricky, it's just an illusion. And I wanted to believe it so badly. I can't imagine that my sweetheart got a boob squeezed by Rick Springfield.
All right. Real quick, we're going to go to San Antonio. You
know who his best friend is, by the way, Ron?
Rick Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
Who his best friend is? Leo Sayer.
Also famous. That's
Rob
a
Love.
great guess.
Rob Love.
Sammy Hagar.
Oh.
Sammy Hagar.
Oh, well, Sammy's in good shape,
guys
too.
Those guys
Sammy's
are
in good shape, too, for 70, whatever he is. Yeah, they both look.
Yeah, he's like 77, I think.
Yeah. They could both go into a club in Vegas and do damage. All right. San Antonio, Ricky, a middle school special ed teacher wanted to celebrate the last day of school with her students, thought she'd do something special. So she's like, you know what I'm going to do? These kids aren't going to be with me anymore. I'm going to get them hopped up on sugar. She's going to get them some Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Well, she made a little mistake, Ricky. She got the heart of Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
So five of the kids, look, 6%. Is it 5 or 6% alcohol?
Oh my God, it's 5% alcohol.
So 5 of the kids. And
what grade was this?
It was middle school. I think they were 12. I think maybe they were 12.
Yeah.
But
well,
yeah, 5 of them.
High school, motherfucker.
Yeah, 5 of them ended up consuming it. Now, the thing I do want to ask this teacher. I mean, sweet gesture, but did she not realize when she bought a 12-pack of this that it was like $25 and not, $8 like a pack of Mountain Dew would be? But anyway, imagine.
How old were you the first time that you got buzzed or drunk, Ron? However you want to define it as affected by alcohol.
I can tell you exactly what it was. It was the last week of my senior year. I didn't drink in high school. Last week of my senior year, 3 of my friends and I, one of my friends' aunts was gone from her apartment, so we went over to her apartment. We played poker and drank, and it was the first time I'd ever drank more than a sip of beer here. Tasting my dad's. So that was the first time. What about you?
Did it make you feel, queasy stomach at all or anything like that?
I don't think I didn't drink enough to get sick from it. But I definitely remember being
Pussy.
like, oh, I feel different
Pussy.
now.
That's what that is.